Give a fish, teach to fish, delivering hope. A Paying It Forward, self improvement, and personal development charitable community outreach initiative. Founded, supported, and funded by DiNuzzo Private Wealth, Inc. Thank you for joining us today. If you're looking for an inspirational speaker for your organization, please book Pappy to speak to your nonprofit group that would love to hear his message of hope and inspiration. Also, just a reminder that Pappy has expanded into social media, so whatever your favorite platform is, you can be sure to find Pappy and his positive messages there. So please go to YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, X, Twitter, Facebook, and Rumble to like, subscribe, and share Pappy Mindset Coach so that you can assist him in promoting his message of hope and inspiration to his fellow brothers and sisters in need around the world. Now let's go to Pappy to set the table. Good morning, Pappy.
Good morning, Mikey. Good morning, Suzanne. Good morning, all of our fellow brothers and sisters. Namaste. The spirit in me greets the spirit in you. Thank you so much for joining us today. And the social media, Mikey, just continues to grow. And not just even the fact that it's growing, but the correspondence, the comments that we get, questions, and the interaction. I try to respond to as many questions as I can. And that's just been growing by leaps and bounds across different platforms. And I've attempted to maintain a presence on at least a handful of platforms. Some of our fellow brothers and sisters are almost only on TikTok or only on Instagram or only on YouTube, etc. So trying to accommodate as much as I can. So I really thank everyone for the wonderful energy in helping us with that. As I always start off every time, namaste. As I said, my fellow brothers and sisters, I always come to you from a perspective of 100% spirituality. At the very top apex of that pyramid, 100% spirituality. I and we stay neutral as to religion. I stay neutral as to politics. I stay neutral as to governments. This is just a perspective of 100% spirituality. I'm not here to change the world. I'm not here to change people. I'm here to share a message and inform. And that's what my mission is. That's what my marching orders are. That's what my message and my mission are, to share this message. If it resonates with you, that is absolutely wonderful. I remind you all the time, I'm constantly approached by people, and 3 days, 3 weeks, 3 months, 3 years prior, they'll say, Pappy, I heard you in one way, shape, or form, book, online, social media, presentation, virtual presentation, in-person presentation. And they'll say something sort of, I don't want to say negative is derogatory. I get it didn't make any sense. I didn't think anything of it. I thought it was whatever. But now something inside is speaking to me, and all of a sudden it just like washed over me. And I'm just like dying to know more about this. So can you please help me and work with me? So we don't judge. We never judge fellow brothers and sisters. We don't judge anyone. We just keep an open mind. We're all looking to elevate our level of consciousness. When we look at consciousness, Mikey, if we take a look at really one of the keys to life is being happy, because happy just is a microcosm. It's the patina, the essence of so many things that go into it, that go into leading a successful life and helping our fellow brothers and sisters and being in love with yourself, realizing the superpower that you have inside of you and your fellow brothers and sisters. And when we look at happiness, if we take a look at all the things that we may think make you happy, all the things that you may think, fellow brothers and sisters, that make you happy, we may take a look at what are all the variables that you think have the highest correlation, that if you have this in plain English, you will be happy, or you are happy. When people interview, when experts interview our fellow brothers and sisters, they say, yes, this equals happiness. Is happiness tied into how happy our fellow brothers and sisters are to their home or their house or number of houses that they have? Is it tied into their job and how much income they make? Is happiness tied directly to how much money you have in the bank? Is happiness tied directly to relationships? Is it tied directly to the amount of sex someone's having? Is it tied to the drugs that someone's partaking in? What is happiness most highly correlated with? And I'm here to tell you, my fellow brothers and sisters, it is most highly correlated with exactly what I'm speaking with you today: consciousness and levels of consciousness. If you are in a very low vibration, and you are at a level of consciousness of shame or guilt, you are very, very unhappy. All the low vibrations, all the ones I tell you, I try to give you these images and I say, think of yourself standing here, and you always want to, you've heard me say before, your launch point, when you're doing your prayers, your affirmations, your intentions, whatever it is, you want them at a high vibration. So think of the middle point of your body, of your waist, your navel, your belly button, whatever you want to call it. And you always want to have your vibration up above that level, not below. And the further below, as you start down by your feet, again, shame and guilt, You've got anger, jealousy, fear, doubt, worry, all these things that are in low vibrationary states. If you're at that level of consciousness, that is what equals your level of happiness in your life. So that's what I'm here for, my fellow brothers and sisters, to get these mental shackles off of you, to understand the God force that is inside of you, the true creative power that you have access to, that you can manifest anything you can imagine. You came here, you are an eternal and endless spiritual being, and you came here to further express, expand, increase, and grow and create. And that's what we're here about, is you growing and creating and stepping into your best life of health, wealth, happiness, love, relationships, spirituality, whatever is important to you, whatever is important in your life. You can elevate that from wherever you're at right now to a higher level of which you yourself would define as prosperity. So I welcome all of our fellow brothers and sisters in today, Mikey. Thank you so much for the great job you and Suzanne did, and you always do, in preparing the show and making sure everything goes off wonderfully and laying out a great agenda for our show today. So thank you so much. Namaste, my fellow brothers and sisters. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Are you going to touch on the event that you got to be a part of in New York at
Yes.
Tony Robbins? Yeah.
Thanks, Mikey. That's why you're the expert at keeping me under control, keeping me organized. Yeah. So the next thing I would like to talk about is I always like to talk about a recent event because there's a different zeitgeist or energy, karma, what have you, around any event. And I spoke at a pre-event. It was a group of entrepreneurs, and there was a lot of nonprofit organizations. They're 501c3 organizations. And even though these are 501c3 organizations, which are in plain English charitable organizations, that all the work they're doing, they're nonprofits, and the work they're doing is for charities, they still have an entrepreneurial mindset. You still need to, or get to have an entrepreneurial mindset to be successful. And just this message. So of course, Mikey, my audience, my initial audience is all of our fellow brothers and sisters in need. The last data that I just saw recently was there's over 8 billion fellow brothers and sisters on planet Earth, and over one half, so over 4 billion of our fellow brothers and sisters are living off of less than $3 per day. $3 per day is what they're living off of. That's my initial audience, is our fellow brothers and sisters in need, to elevate them from where they're at, health, wealth, happiness, love, relationships, spirituality, whatever it is, to help them begin to co-create, and co-create is the key word, using this power that they have within and combining it with the resources that are external to them, to co-create with source power, source energy, to manifest anything they can imagine. The next group, Mikey, that I would say that sort of bubbles up, or I keep on running into after that. Basically, I would just classify them as entrepreneurs. And again, even if they're running a nonprofit organization, they need to figure out how they're going to grow, and staffing and human capital and resources and financial resources. And these are some of the most wonderful missions that these fellow brothers and sisters have on who they're looking to help. And the impact is the key word, the impact that they're looking to have, the positive impact with our fellow brothers and sisters. And I'll be touching on this a couple of times today, Mikey, but it always just amazes me how well this resonates with our fellow brothers and sisters who have an entrepreneurial spirit. And what always comes through with me, Mikey, is these entrepreneurs, and even a lot of the majorities of these individuals, brothers and sisters I was presenting to, were in the nonprofit space, 501c3 nonprofit space, not running nonprofit organizations, but they still are looking to further express, expand, increase, and grow and create. So they really gravitate to this message, and I'll be tying that back in a couple times in our show today.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that with us. I think it's really important for your listeners to hear all the different groups that you speak to, from like the entrepreneurs to the school in Kenya. It's just the diversity that you have for your fellow brothers and sisters. So I just wanted to make sure you touched on that. But if you can't be part of this
Hey,
group,
Mikey, I don't want to interrupt you, but you're so good at reminding me about things. I'll talk about it in a future show. But I just did a show at the Freehold School in Nakuru, Kenya, about 4 hours south of Nairobi. And I just did a class this last Wednesday, and I'm not in on what's in vogue or what's happening or whatever, but at the end of class, I guess the clicking thing started here within like the last year or so. And whenever something's going well, and I get that a lot from our brothers and sisters overseas. And at the end of the class, the 60, 70, 80 students, and there was a handful of teachers, got up and they were all standing up and all of them were like clicking. It sounded like, it was a very interesting, but, like 60, 70, 80 of them all snapping their fingers, clicking at the same time. Because I asked Madam Pamela, I said, Madam Pamela, how happy is everybody with the talk and the presentation we had today? And they all got up. Nobody even said a word. They just got up and they were all just like snapping and clicking their fingers. So the energy that came off of that was so good. So thank you for reminding me about our fellow brothers and sisters in Kenya. Thank you.
That's awesome. Like my sense of humor. If you're snapping, then you're happy, right? Snappy means
Yeah.
happy. All right. Papi wants to remind us that repetition is your key to manifesting. And one way to be reminded of this is to sign up for Papi's weekly email. He sends out 2 concepts to live by to everyone on his mailing list. It's just a great way to be provided with a positive message directly to your inbox. And Papi, you have 2 concepts that you want to share with us today.
Yes, Mike. Yeah, the last 2 that Suzanne sent out to our fellow brothers and sisters. The first one I'll go through today is what I call advancing person. Advancing person. And it just as a reminder, my book is Manifest Anything You Can Imagine. I make this book available for free, Free, for free for anyone who cannot afford it. It's a free ebook, a free electronic book. You can go to papimindsetcoach.com and get a free book. So when I say read my book every day, study it every day, Bob Proctor grew up on Think and Grow Rich. Bob Proctor grew up in Think and Grow Rich. And for 60 years consecutive, every day, every year, for approximately 60 years, Bob read or looked at, studied at least one page in this book. So I say, with all due respect, Think and Grow Rich was for the last 100 years. Manifest Anything You Can Imagine for the next 100 years. So when I say read or study, Bob even had a wooden holder in which he would set the book up. It was on his desk and it would just sit there. And he would say, Pappy, I spent days or even weeks on one page, just internalizing one page until I got it, went through it. So think of how powerful the message is. The message being delivered to us from universal intelligence, my fellow brothers and sisters. We can read this or look at it. I've listened to my own book. I listen to it instead of listening to the radio or something, garbage on TV or something coming at me. I'll even listen to it in the background. And I'll even say, man, I don't even remember that's in the book, or that struck me a different way this time. So the advancing person is what I talk about in the book. And really the thought process behind this is that when you, my fellow brothers and sisters, if you can follow whatever that I'm sharing with you that resonates with you, and we all learn in different ways, you will start to line up. You'll start to place yourself in harmony, alignment, and flow. And when you're in harmony, alignment, and flow, most of the communication that we are having with each other every day is nonverbal. You will create what you think, nonverbal. You will attract what you feel, nonverbal. 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 So in my book, I talk about the impression of increase. As you start to get closer and start to control your thoughts and harness your energy. It's about harnessing energy, controlling energy, and directing it. And you start to live inside out instead of outside in, reacting to all this external stimuli, taking pure power, spirit, energy down into you and through you. Your fellow brothers and sisters are going to pick up on this, and they're going to feel positive energy. And it's what I refer to as your impression of increase. You're going to say, I'm at this low vibration state, and this fellow brother, sister I'm interacting is at this high vibration state. I'm attracted to this. Almost think of that midpoint on your body that I talked about before as being above the water line or below the water line. And let's think about if you're below the water line and it's just you by yourself, you can't breathe underwater. You need this energy. You need this oxygen. You need to get up above sea level, at least with one nostril, so that you can breathe. And that's what our fellow brothers and sisters are yearning for. When they're in low vibrationary states, they are yearning to go to a higher level. And or we've talked before, they just need the energy just for sustenance, just to survive. we've talked before about how many of our low vibration fellow brothers and sisters that you interact with, and even for 5 minutes when you meet with them, you walked out and your sternum's down and your shoulders are down. You're like, man, I'm wiped out. I lost so much energy. Well, that energy was transferred from you to them. They're in such a low vibrationary state. They need that to get through the day. So that would be a negative impression of increase. Our fellow brothers and sisters want to, just by their pure subconscious mind, stay away from people like that who are in that low vibrationary state. So you follow my teachings, you follow, everything is in my book, and you can find things elsewhere. My 28-day Manifesting Accelerator online coaching course. I've got a lot of tools in a lot of places, but just to start to elevate yourself, and as you raise your level of vibration that's coming out of you, and as you're able to start to manifest, and you can imagine living inside out, your fellow brothers and sisters, by this impression of increase, which is your higher vibration, will start to view you as an advancing person, an advancing personality. And believe me, my fellow brothers and sisters, your fellow brothers and sisters are attracted to an advancing person, and especially an advancing personality, high vibration, very, very much. This is not about working harder. You've heard me say before, not about the sweat of your brow, the ache of your neck and shoulders, the ache of your back from digging with a shovel or swinging with an axe or something and having to work overtime or 7 days a week. Create in your mind. Create in your mind. Send out this wonderful vibration. Have these wonderful individuals, peoples, groups, resources, assets, opportunities attracted to you naturally without having to use a shovel or a pick or an axe or doing any kind of physical backbreaking work. It'll be attracted toward you when you're viewed as an advancing person. The next one, Mikey, is another granddaddy you have up today that you and Suzanne have queued up, affirmation. Affirmation, the most powerful thing about affirmations, my fellow brothers and sisters, is that affirmations contain auto suggestions. So these are somewhat synonymous with each other. Affirmations, intentions, prayers, whatever you're most comfortable with. There's a couple of other handles or descriptions to use, but you get the idea just by affirmations, intentions, and prayers. And I am, capital A, capital M, I am so happy and grateful now, always in the present, that, and then you state what your desire is. That is an auto suggestion. You're speaking that. It's a suggestion from yourself to yourself. I am so happy and grateful now. And I recommend a 3-3-3 process with your Faith 10X goal affirmations, where you write out your goal 3 times in the morning. This is your largest goal. You've heard me say before. You write it out 3 times in the morning, 3 times in the afternoon, 3 times in the evening. And my fellow brothers and sisters, when you have a thought, a firework goes off, one firework up in the 5th dimension or above, and when that dust and that smoke settles down, you see the faint outline of your thought starting its initial phase to take form. If you have the same thought and you apply emotion, sincere, genuine, deep emotion to it, dozens and dozens of fireworks go off, and it is all the more developed, much more further developed. So when you're writing out your affirmations, say your affirmation out loud as well. Put emotion into it. Close your eyes and draw emotion in. Close your eyes at the end of writing out your first affirmation and envision a snapshot on the picture of your mind that snapshot, your desire was to buy a new automobile, and that snapshot is you are in the showroom and the salesperson is handing you the keys to your new car. You're shaking their hand. Your smile is wider than your face. Your smile is so large. You are so happy. Your vibration is so great because you just purchased the first new car you were ever able to purchase in your life. Whatever this affirmation is, draw all of your emotions in. When you're in that moment, what do you feel? What do you smell? What do you hear? What are you touching? Draw all 5 of your senses in. Our visual sense is by far and away the most powerful, but draw them all in when you perform your affirmation. And again, I am so happy and grateful now that, and then you fill in the blank. If you don't get a chance to write out 3 times in the morning, do it 6 in the afternoon and 3 in the evening. If you have a challenge in the morning or afternoon, just write it out 9 times in the evening. but immerse yourself in the feelings and emotions when you're performing your affirmations. And it can and must be drawn to you. You started a conveyor belt drawing this to you. And my fellow brothers and sisters, I remind you, with affirmations, 5 days, 5 weeks, 5 months, 5 years, we don't know. It does not matter. It will be drawn to you and delivered to you in universal line with universal synchronicity and universal orchestration when it is in your best interest and your fellow brothers and sisters' best interest. So I get fellow brothers and sisters to focus on one of the conveyor belts, and I'm looking at health, wealth, happiness, love, relationships, spirituality, and tons of other conveyor belts coming toward you. And we don't look at it. It's never that it's late or it's taking longer than I thought. Everything is delivered as it should, when it should. Because if you look at that from a human perspective, you have other conveyor belts coming to you. And if you're honest with yourself, you would say, you know what? I thought that was going to take 3 years, and I got that in 3 weeks. Something happened from a relationship perspective, from a mental health perspective, from a physical health perspective, from a spirituality perspective. There's all these wonderful conveyor belts. Once you're in control of your life, that you are controlling with the energy that you harness and direct, that are coming toward you. And again, affirmation, when you read my book, is one of the 15 key ingredients to manifest anything you can imagine. Extraordinarily, extraordinarily important. So thank you, Mikey, for queuing that up. Those are two really, really big ones you had today.
Yeah, those are two really, really good ones. And I do believe that if you surround yourself with people that want you to set the bar higher and want you to advance, then you yourself are going to move forward. You know, you always want to be around people who want you to do better. And Pappy, you want us to do better, 1% better every day. You say it all the time. So, and you are really good at manifesting the law of attraction. And you have a coaching tip that you want to give us today.
Yeah, the coaching tip, Mikey. I just remind us again, and you got me started up, jump started earlier, and I sort of jumped into the manifesting for entrepreneurs. And this is just speaking to all the growth mindedness you inside of my fellow brothers and sisters. I guarantee you, when you came to Earth, as part of your integral plan was to express, expand, increase, grow, and create. Some of our fellow brothers and sisters love putting oil on a piece of canvas. That's how they create. They like getting clay out of the earth and molding it with their hands. They love writing beautiful music. They love singing beautiful music. They love dancing in all forms of dance. They love working with numbers. They love helping their fellow brothers and sisters in philanthropic manners. There's just so many. It's as different as our 8 billion fellow brothers and sisters on them, how they chose to and how they engage and how they get the most enjoyment out of expressing, expanding, increase, growing, and creating. And our entrepreneurs are drawn to this over and over. And I know, Mikey, we talked a couple weeks ago about, I did the keynote presentation for around 500 member group, mostly students, college students who were majoring in entrepreneurship. And there was a good bit of professors there as well. But just like the hum, just the excitement, just the energy, with all these young minds from probably 19 years of age to 22 years of age, and how their thirst was for them to grow and create. And that's what drew them into entrepreneurship. So that is why we came here. That's what we're here for, to work together in this energy field, in this field of consciousness, in which we're all part of the same one, to work together to elevate individual levels of consciousness and the entire macro level of consciousness is what I'm here for, what we're all here for together, working hand in hand. And I just see that, Mikey, manifesting itself, showing up in entrepreneurs over and over. So I implore you, my fellow brothers and sisters, I'm using entrepreneurs here today as a synonym or a gateway for that growth desire inside of you. You have something inside of you that you desire deeply to grow, that would make you happy beyond comprehension, that would serve your fellow brothers and sisters and enhance their individual level of consciousness and raise the macro level of consciousness with all of our fellow brothers and sisters. So I implore you, follow that intuition. Women have phenomenal intuition. Women's intuition, men will often say, what I feel in my gut, or I just feel it in my seat of my pants. However we phrase it, however it comes through our brothers and sisters, follow that growth desire inside of you, that growth mindedness. That's the true you. That's the real you, that I am here to help teach you, educate, elevate this help pull it out of you, show you how to use it so that you can literally, truly manifest anything you can imagine.
Awesome. So you explained earlier to us with your concepts to live by what an affirmation is and how they can help you advance and grow and manifest. And you are going to share one of your actual affirmations with us now.
Yes, beautiful. Yes, Mike, and you queued up a great one today, and this is tied, and we've used a lot of these key words that I see in the affirmation already. And every affirmation, my fellow brothers and sisters, is so powerful. When you start off, I am and am, capital A, capital M, you are recognizing again the God force inside of you. Have a perfect spirit, a perfect spiritual DNA, perfect spiritual spark inside of you, access to all knowledge and all power of all time. You state, I am. You're stepping into your true self. I am so happy and grateful now that I know I am living my life's purpose. I enjoy how I am growing and I am aligned in harmony with the universe. So this one, Mikey, is just it's a microcosm. It's just the essence of what we've been talking about today, about living your life's purpose. My fellow brothers and sisters, that's what you came here for. You came here to grow, and you came here to be in alignment with harmony, alignment, and flow, to be aligned. This is such a beautiful affirmation, just giving this auto suggestion from yourself to yourself, reminding yourself of your purpose, and you will continue like a magnet. The law of attraction, my fellow brothers and sisters, like attracts like. You send out a high vibration, you're going to attract back that high vibration. You send out a low vibration, you are going to attract back that low vibration, that low vibration person, group of people, resources, lack of opportunities, whatever it is. Like attracts like. And my fellow brothers and sisters, you are a magnet. You are a magnet, and you tell yourself that you know you're living your life's purpose. You're going to draw that into you, that you are enjoying how much you are growing. Through that high vibration, you're going to draw more growth into you, and then give praise and blessings for how aligned and in harmony you are with the universe. And I stay neutral, my fellow brothers and sisters. Source power, the top and creator of all. You define that how you like to define it yourself. But you can and will draw this into you. You can and will draw it into you.
Awesome. And like you say, we all have that harmony barometer in us, so it's really important to keep that needle like on the right side. So now we get to ask Pappy a manifest question. Pat, if you have a question for Pappy, you can go to his website and submit it on the Ask Pappy link at the top. And today's question is, what is manifestation and how does it work?
Yes, Mikey, manifestation is just it's just a continuation of our theme today. It's creating. You came here, my fellow brothers and sisters, to manifest, to create anything you can imagine. And how it works is I start a lot, and with my 28-day Manifesting Accelerator online coaching course, the first 7 days of the class are all about base building. And I believe very strongly in base building. I get fellow brothers and sisters that come to me, Mike, and say, Pappy, I've been trying this and it's not working. You know, I read a book, or I'm doing affirmations. So they just like would start into something. Somebody may talk to them about affirmations or intentions or incantations, whatever it is, and they started into it, but there's really just no confidence. They don't have a base of knowledge for their confidence. So this starts with a base, my fellow brothers and sisters, to create, to understand this power that's within you. I am so happy and grateful now that universal intelligence, universal subconscious mind, universal light, source power, and source energy created this perfect and infinite universe of universes, all operating under its perfect and infinite universal laws. For you and I, Mikey, and all of our fellow 8 billion fellow brothers and sisters, we're all in the game of life. This is the game of life. And these perfect and infinite universal laws are the rules of the game. So understanding the rules of the game, the law of energy, the law of vibration, law of attraction, the law of perpetual transmutation of energy, the law of increase, the law of gratitude, the law of cause and effect, also known as the law of karma. All these wonderful laws make it. This universe is in balance, and everything strives and moves and gravitates back towards balance. So my fellow brothers and sisters, get a general knowledge. You've got this power of all knowledge of all time. I'm so happy and grateful now that universal intelligence has directed to me and educated me, directed knowledge to me and educated me about the thought world that I live in within this perfect and infinite thought universe. My fellow brothers and sisters, even if this is the first time you've heard any of this today, sharing this knowledge and wisdom with you, taking the last 7 decades of my life and compressing that down as well as I can into the show today, you have received an invitation today. Even if today is the first time you've ever heard about this, I am most happy and grateful now. I'm most happy and grateful now that Source Energy, Source Power knows my name, knows your name, every fellow brother and sister, and truly desires, and the key word is to co-create with you, to manifest anything you can imagine. So manifestation, Mikey, starts with that strong base and our fellow brothers and sisters understanding this all knowledge and all power access of all time that's within them to create and grow, through their subconscious mind, through universal subconscious mind. And again, I lay this out over and over in my book, and I implore you, my fellow brothers and sisters, sometimes you read an initial concept, it may not make sense to you, but just stick with it, and a light bulb will come off sooner rather than later as you're running into and coming into contact with some concepts or strategies or thoughts that are a little bit different. But I just implore you, Mikey, you've heard me say so many times, my fellow brothers and sisters, I'm just here to inform, I'm here to share information. But I run into my fellow brothers and sisters that have been on this earth for 20 years, 40 years, 60 years, 80 years or longer. When I ask them about these grades, health, wealth, happiness, love, relationship, spirituality, they are not happy with their grades. They're not happy. They're even a lot less than not happy. And I asked them, they've been approaching this from a 3D perspective, a physical perspective. Can you entertain approaching this from a thought perspective that you are an eternal spiritual being with power beyond your earthly comprehension that's inside of you, that I'm here to help you unlock so that you can manifest anything you can imagine? Thank you, Mikey.
Sure, that's a great answer to such a broad question, because you could do a whole webinar on that question alone. Actually, you could write a book on it, and you did. So, I highly recommend too. Like Pappy said, like everyone can get his book. It's available for free. It's also available in Spanish and English. And if you really want to learn, like I've had to read it over again, and I've heard people say the same thing, that they read it again and again before they understand it completely, because it's very in depth and it's very informative and it's very helpful. But what I like about it is their quotes. They're simple quotes that Pappy receives through the universe that you can just read, and it just resets your whole mindset. And he has a quote today from his book ready for us.
Yes, Mikey, this is a great quote that you picked out today. And my fellow brothers and sisters, you'll hear me say repetition, repetition, repetition. I'm not going to get into your subconscious mind now. In the first 6, 7 years of your life, you had no protection from your conscious mind and all the things that got in after that. They got into your paradigm, your hardwire, and your hardware system, and your software system, this virus that our fellow brothers and sisters have within them. What I'm talking about is how to get rid of that and how to lift yourself up, and repetition, repetition, repetition is so important. And that's what this quote is related to today that I'll share with you. My fellow brothers and sisters, the other part about this is you need to, and you get to, more specifically, you get to step into your new, better, 1% better self every single day. And to be honest with you, you need to or get to put on your big boy pants. You need to or get to put on your big girl pants. You got to step into this power that's within you. Have confidence, ask for it, and start to establish your manifesting ritual that I talk to you about every day, about developing a manifesting lifestyle. My fellow brothers and sisters, from chapter 10 in my book, your habits will make you or break you. As in this universe, it is always only you versus you. It's no one else's fault. It's got nothing to do with anyone else. Your reality, all of your experiences in your life, and your entire reality around you are a reflection of your subconscious mind, of your thoughts and emotions and actions that you have sent out, is exactly what's coming back to you. It's always only you versus you. You are your only problem, and you are your only solution. All you have is today. My fellow brothers and sisters, all you have is today. There is no past. There is no past. There is no future. The entire universe is eternally grounded in the present right now. Keep your head where your feet are at. right now. All you have is today. There is no past, there is no future. All you have is the present. Cherish it. Cherish today. Always think and act in the present. Always think and act in the present. Universal intelligence only operates, works, and communicates in the present. So bring yourself, Mikey. Step into this, my fellow brothers and sisters, to get 1% better every single day, knowing that you have this power, unlimited power within you, but you need to and you get to step into it. Take just that one step, one big step every morning, and just step into your powerful, new 1% better and improved self every single morning, and just watch the miracles unfold in front of you.
See, that's what I mean. Those quotes are just so positive. I just love those quotes and just the way to end the show like that. Like, really, that's all you have is today. So make sure that you cherish it and become 1% better every single day. So if you're new to Pappy Mindset Coach, be sure that you're signed up on pappymindsetcoach.com to receive Pappy's free educational emails and get access to upcoming live events conducted by Pappy to help you manifest the health, wealth, happiness, and love of your dreams. And one additional reminder to please remember to like, subscribe, and share Pappy Mindset Coach social media links. Thank you.